next story. I this one's got to hit close to home a little bit for Melonie. I assume you're following the kicker backlash in the NFL.
Oh, I've seen a little bit about
Oh,
that.
you're gonna get
Not a
fired up
lot.
about this one, friend.
Okay.
Okay, so the Kansas City Chiefs kicker, Butker, Harrison Butker, actually pretty good kicker, I think. I'm pretty sure. I know he's got at
Mhm.
least one Super Bowl ring, probably two. So, there's that. Um, and then he gives a speech at a Catholic school, a
Right.
Catholic college commencement speech. And he basically said, "Hey, women, just so you know, being a boss bee, a strong, independent woman who don't need no man thing isn't for everybody. Having a family is a good thing, and being a homemaker is a good thing." He was pretty diplomatic about it. I thought when I
Yeah.
was reading like I was like, "Oh, what did he say?" Like, did he say, "Women, your only job is to be in the kitchen"? That's not what he
Right.
said. It was pretty. Yeah, I thought though, based on the I thought based on the blowout is that he said something like that, but I mean, he's like, "Hey, my wife is happy as a homemaker." Well, that's easy when you make $6 million a year to kick a football, but yeah,
Yeah.
a lot
I
of
think
husband and wives,
she's probably not doing a lot of the homemaking part.
right? Yeah, yeah. That's what yeah. So like, let's define reality here. Like a lot of husband and wives have to work. A
Right.
lot of wives would love to stay home. A lot of husbands would too, probably. Um, And, so what ends up happening is the fricking mayor or the town Twitter account tweets out, "Oh, Harrison Butker doesn't live in Kansas City. He lives in," and then the little city where he lives. They have to retract that.
Oh
Um,
my.
because they got buried, by people because Catholics and Christians are the only religion. Like if he was Muslim and he said that, it wouldn't have been a beat,
True.
guaranteed. Um,
That's what's crazy though, is even regular people who aren't religious are saying this stuff on TikTok or whatever. Even some of these feminists are saying that. They're like, "Oh, we need a guy to pay for everything," except they don't want to do any homemaking. They want to
right.
do nothing. But still, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, a lot of feminists are seeing, hey, wow, it's really hard to try to make your own money and be a career woman and survive on yourself. It's tough. Maybe I want a more traditional setting, but I don't want to admit that I like the traditional formula. So let me repackage this as
Yeah.
a girl boss thing, which is kind of what they've been trying to do lately, but they go
See,
more of
yeah,
a
isn't
gold
that
digger
funny?
route.
That's
Yeah.
such a that's such a smart analysis of it. You should make a standalone video about that. Like, these sprinkle chicks are actually
They're
just
trads.
they're coping. Yeah, yes,
And they don't
exactly.
want to admit that they're trads.
Yes,
They
yes.
want a traditional lifestyle, but they want to be a feminist. So they've got to
Yeah.
try their best to spin it. But yeah, I think what we've seen
If you
with
don't
all
make
of
that video, Melanie, I'm making it.
I'll make or
I
I'll you can make it too.
No, you
But
ma it comes better, like, if you say it. If I say it, it's just me hating women. Like,
that's true.
but you're right. It's like, "Oh, sprinkle, sprinkle. Oh, you mean you wanna sit at home and have a man take care of you?"
Exactly, that's what they want, and it's
Yeah.
like, I don't blame them for wanting that. That's I think that, just being a woman in general, and you just look at our hormonal cycles compared to a man, like, the man will go through his same regular I don't know the whole scientific element of this, but, like, in 24 hours, you have a very steady hormonal level.
Yeah.
Women, we're
Drizzle,
all over the
drizzle. Am I right,
place.
fellas?
Ours is like 28 days. Like, so, okay, maybe on this week we might be, oh, I'm all fired up and I'm really organized and ready to work this week. But then next week, oh man, your emotions could be all over the place and you could just not be feeling it. And it's women don't necessarily excel in that girl boss role. And
Yeah,
I'm
no.
not going to be a hypocrite and act like because I've been supporting myself. I've
You are a
never.
strong, independent woman right now.
I am a
Yeah,
strong independent woman. Would I, if I had an opportunity where it's like,
yeah.
oh, here's a guy that I'm attracted to, he's a Christian,
Mhm.
and he wanted to marry me and support me? Heck yes, I'd do that. But
Yeah,
I just haven't been in a position like that. That's a
yes,
whole long story without
yeah.
getting into my personal life. But yeah,
Oh, don't do that.
so yeah, I have been doing the girl boss thing,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's hard and it's stressful. And I don't think that it's natural for women to be, we have to be in a very masculine energy in our day to day, and it can be overwhelming, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think I mean, I think we both agree essentially, like, hey, to each their own, right? And by the way,
Mhm.
this guy was not saying, again, everyone likes to remove the fact that he was at a Catholic college speaking about
Right.
biblical terms, about man and woman. What they're really mad about is that he said that basically LGBTQ is a sin, which according to the Bible, it
Base!
is.
It
Yeah,
is, and he's at a Catholic church saying this, or a Catholic school or
right.
whatever.
It's not like
That
he's
that
at
is
a gay club doing it. He's doing
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
that's
like,
the place he needs to do it, and this is
yeah.
the thing, is these churches and these Christian establishments, or like Christian schools and stuff, they need to actually embrace the Bible, because there's been too many times where, "Oh, okay, we're gonna accept this part of the Bible, but not this." It's like, no, if you're gonna be a Christian, you need to be a Christian. But yeah, I mean,
Well, I think that they also, I think that some of these churches that like get woke are like worried about attendance and
yeah.
tithings more than they're worried about like,
And that shows their heart's not in the right place, their
right.
spirit's not in the right place, because that's just the reality of it. You need to actually be preaching the word, and it shouldn't be just about the attendance and about the tithing and this and that.
If
Um,
you look at the way they disingenuously like his speech was pretty traditional, I'll say.
right.
I'm not gonna say that it was like I don't think, he didn't say like a woman's places in the kitchen. He said
Right.
some women grads are excited about getting married, and then like all these news outlets are acting like they weren't. Like, are
Well,
you
in
joking?
society, and the society in my time and stuff like that, growing up, it was almost to the point to where housewives, house moms, all that were almost looked down on by a lot. Oh, well, you're not a girl boss, you're not this. And I know my mom, she saw some of that because she was a housewife. I mean, still is, but house mom, housewife, and my goodness, it was just sad to see how sometimes people, when we lived on the military bases and stuff like that, and interacting with some other women who might be more of the girl boss and stuff, and just trying to make her feel inferior because she didn't go that route. I am so grateful that my mom stayed at home and didn't go the career woman route, that she raised my brothers and I at home and homeschooled us, all that. I
Mhm.
think that was wonderful, and she she's happy doing it. That was her dream ever since she was a kid. She wanted to be a mom and a housewife, and now she's helping with my niece and nephew. Like, she's a
Yeah.
grandmother now, and she loves it. And it brings her so much happiness, and I love that. I look at someone like my mom, and it's like she doesn't have to deal with a lot of the stressors that
Mhm.
I have to deal with as a
Yeah.
career woman.
Yeah.
Not saying that it's harder for me, because I think being a mom is a very hard job,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's what she was built for it. And so it's like, yeah, I think that
Nothing
the
wrong,
whole
yeah.
boss
Nothing wrong.
babe thing it's not entirely in women's nature, and it's very stressful.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, like, so he's obviously Catholic, right? And by the way, uh, all the people pretending to be offended by this,
Mhm.
I guarantee you everybody in that locker room agrees with him.
I
What
know.
what do
I
football
know.
players say when after the game? "Oh, I love my mama, I love Jesus Christ, all glory to
Yep.
God."
Yep.
Every one of them. Like, I can't tell I've never, like
Yep.
I mean, I guess maybe Aaron Rodgers wasn't that way, but I can tell you that any black player I've ever seen with a
Oh,
microphone
yeah.
is talking about God. And, like,
Exactly.
just because he was basically pro-choice, I'm
Mhm.
sorry, pro-life,
Right.
he called out normal Catholic things that you would call out, and now what a coincidence. Well, look at this. Now there's an anonymous claim that he's gay.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
I
They
mean,
wanna try to ruin his reputation.
yeah. Yeah, it's one of the most, like, nakedly obvious, um, like, smear campaigns against somebody, like, "Oh, an
It
anonymous
is.
person said back in college." Yeah, okay. The guy who's, like, a hardcore Catholic guy. Okay, yes, there are gay Catholic people. Okay, it happens.
Well,
What is very yeah, you're right, yeah.
there are people who are gay who want to say they're Christian well, Catholic's kind of a different animal because I know even like the Pope is very uh
Woke.
yeah, very woke, very he's accepting of the whole LGBT stuff, which is against the Bible. But if you actually are a Bible believing believer, denomination aside, because I'm not Catholic, but denomination aside, then no, you can't be a Bible believing believer and be gay or
Yeah.
be even if you're straight, you can't be promiscuous and claim that things so on and so forth. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair correction. Um, but it's like not only did Harrison Butker call his wife a homemaker, like it's a slur. But he told men in the graduating class to be unapologetic in your masculinity and do the hard things. Oh my
What is so wrong
God.
with saying that?
Yeah. I don't understand at all where anybody could be outraged by what this guy is saying, especially when you take into the context, even if you aren't somebody who's very strongly religious, it's like,
Mhm.
uh, he's in a Catholic school and he's Catholic giving a commencement ceremony to Catholic students. Like,
Exactly.
what
Also,
do you think they talk about?
if people completely disagree with it for whatever reason, he's still allowed to say his viewpoint. Like that's another thing is people are so they get so triggered and so upset seeing opinions and viewpoints and people living differently than what they accept and what they think society accepts to the point to where they think they need to be silenced or oh how dare you speak against this how
Yeah.
dare you speak against the alphabet stuff now we're going to smear you and try to ruin you but that's also biblical as well I mean if
It's
you
happened before.
love Christ, yeah, like they
Mhm.
hated Christ, they'll hate you too if you follow him. And so, I mean, some people will, oh, they're okay with Christians if these Christians don't believe in the Bible. Well, then are they really Christians?
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, so then you have the mayor speaking out, then, like, the NFL spoke out, and it's
Oh
like, dude,
no, the
you could
NFL's
just
gone so woke. It's
I know. It's
ridiculous.
it's like the last thing I have I know you like NFL too, and it's like,
I know
I
it's so
get
hard for
shit
me to
from my
let
viewers
go.
so much, and yeah, I let go of so much, and it's like,
It's like,
just
oh
give me my Packers on Sunday, like, I'll watch it on the freaking NFL streams, whatever, I won't give any, ad revenue, just let me enjoy it. Like, it's the one thing I do for, like,
that's where I'm at. I'm at. I have a
days.
hard time letting go of it. I mean, especially what we're even seeing with how the league's just gone soft in general. I think there could be a point, a couple seasons or so. I've got a couple seasons or so to see it out, but if it keeps getting worse and worse, I'm out.